Hi Taurus, welcome to your June 2018 reading. The cards are laid out in a Celtic cross spread, and normally that's a 10 card spread, but you do have an extra card in the hopes or fears position. I also see a lot of major arcana here, so this could be a big month for you. I also pull an oracle card to tie everything together at the end, and that's higher power, so that along with all the major arcana we have here, I would say this is definitely a karmic month for you. The card we have under the deck is the Page of Pentacles. I don't necessarily see that as a specific earth sign, but it certainly could be pointing to you, being that you're a Taurus. It could just be a new financial offer being on the table, and a message regarding that. That's usually how I view the pages. Looking at the main situation, we have Two of Cups. A lot of times this is viewed as a soulmate card. I wouldn't necessarily go that far all the time. It could just be the start of a new relationship. This is the first card of Cancer, so that's why I say that. To me, it's the starting of a relationship, not necessarily that's well established at the time of the reading. And it doesn't always have to be regarding romance. It could just be a creative project, maybe that you're teaming up with someone on. In the challenge position, we have the Empress. It did come up in reverse though. This is often seen as a Taurus card, so it could be saying that you're not feeling yourself right now. So maybe that's hindering the start of this new relationship or project. The most simple way to think of it is you're feeling turned around right now, right? It was in reverse. So maybe with this Uranus energy, now that it's in your sign, it's been in your sign for a few weeks now, maybe you're just feeling a little out of sorts right now, still getting adjusted to all of that. That's certainly a possibility. For some of you, it could be the loss of a pregnancy or false read of a pregnancy. If that's the case, my condolences there, but I don't necessarily see that being the case here for most of you. In the position of the foundation or basis, we have the moon in reverse. Usually the moon is viewed as a card that it's perceived as deception sometimes, and in reverse that usually means that deception will be coming out. It could be self-deception if it's deception at all. It could be that you're dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer that's not doing very well right now. Here's what I say with the moon though. The way I view it is, think about if you're in a room that you're not very familiar with. When you're moving around that room with the lights on, you're able to easily navigate around, right? But then, let's say the lights are off, maybe you wake up in the middle of the night in that room, and you want to walk to another room. Now all of a sudden you're a little hesitant. You're feeling around, making sure you don't stub your toe on anything, right? I mean, it's nothing moved while you were sleeping. Nobody moved the furniture around, but without the light there, you're a little more hesitant to trust your instincts as far as where you're moving. So that's kind of how I see the moon. It's not necessarily something that was purposely hidden. And what do you do in those situations? You have to feel around. So that's the way I think of the moon. It's saying you have to feel your way through the situation because you're not seeing it as clearly as you normally would. But again, with it in reverse, whatever deception it was, if it's deception at all, or just could be miscommunications, it could be getting cleared up. In the position of the past, we have the Justice card. So this is the major arcana card of Libra. Sometimes it can mean that you were dealing with a legal case, maybe some kind of contracts that you were getting in place. Whatever the case may be with the Justice card in the upright, it seems that everything was fair in that situation. And again, if maybe you feel that you were done wrong in the situation, you might not feel like justice was served, but with this in that position, most likely it was. All right, in the position of the present, we have the Hanged Man, another major arcana card. I often see this as a Pisces card, but often it's viewing things from a different perspective. It's a Neptune energy. Right now you have Neptune in your 11th house, so this could be regarding friendships of some kind, where maybe you had a falling out with a friend, for example, and now you're looking at it from a different perspective, and maybe you're realizing, well, maybe it wasn't all their fault, or maybe I wasn't seeing things clearly, maybe I misjudged a person. And it's worth pointing out, with the moon in reverse, it also reminds me of the symbol we see here. I mean, it's all almost located in the same spot, right? So that could be what it is. Maybe what you thought was deception, maybe it could have been self-deception. Now you're seeing the situation more clearly. In the near future, we have the star. So this is a card of Aquarius. That's another fixed sign. There's a lot of fixed energy going on. You're a fixed sign, and you have Uranus in your sign. Scorpio's another fixed sign. Jupiter is in that sign, and then the nodes, North Node is in Leo, that's another fixed sign, and South Node is in Aquarius. So this is a fixed energy. Could be that you'll be dealing with an Aquarius in the near future. This is often viewed as the wish card as well, though. So maybe something you're hoping for will be happening for you in the near future. In the present position, we have the Six of Cups. So this is often seen as reconnecting with someone from the past. Oftentimes it is viewed as a romantic card because it is the cups after all. But this could just be reconnecting with an old friend, especially if this was a friendship where there was a falling out because of a misunderstanding. I sometimes call this the being the bigger person card. If you look at the two people, it looks like he's extending the cup to this person, and there does appear to be a size difference between them. So that's why I feel inspired to say it's the being the bigger person card. So it could be that you're realizing, you know what, it's time to bury the hatchet and talk to this person again, maybe someone you haven't spoken to in a long time. Or it could just be revisiting something that you once did, feeling like a kid again. You know, there's many different angles to look at it from there, but definitely positive for the most part. In the position of the environment, we have the Two of Wands. So this could be a person that you're dealing with, or just the general energy of the environment in general. So it could be saying that the energies here are pushing you forward to take action. It could be that you reach out to someone over the internet, or maybe you're waiting for them to reply to you after you do reach out to them. This is an Aries card, and it's very much about taking some kind of action. So maybe once you do reach out to this person, extend the olive branch, they accept, and things are able to move forward between the two of you again. That could certainly be the case. If it's a job situation that you're dealing with, same scenario. Once you finally make that move forward, things should start moving pretty rapidly from there. Now in your hopes or fears position, we have the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. I'm going to assume that this is a fear, that maybe you're fearing being deceived again, right? Maybe even though you're looking at things from a different perspective, that's still a fear that you have. Or maybe you're realizing it was your fear of being deceived that led to the issue and it really wasn't a deceptive situation at all. And then I would assume this is more on the side of hope, where you're hoping for stability. Could be financial, could just be family. But yeah, I mean, these two cards together, this is an Aquarius card as well, just like that. This is a Virgo card. But as I'm looking at these two, I think that's all it is. You're just fearing being deceived and you want stability, right? I mean, you are Taurus after all. You do love stability. And maybe all these transits going on have you a bit turned around, which is why the Empress is in reverse, and you just want balance restored. In the outcome position, we have the Knight of Swords. This is typically my Gemini card as far as the court cards for the air signs. So you could be dealing with a Gemini. It could be a Gemini that was involved in all of this. Or it could just be saying that you're finally ready to move forward, or the situation itself moves forward finally once you extend that olive branch. Could be any of those things. But again, it's in the upright, and with the surrounding cards, I think this is more of a positive thing. I don't think this is going to be a fight, for example. I don't think it's going to be a big argument or anything along those lines. I really just think it's communication and moving forward from there. All right, and now let's take a look at the Oracle card. The Oracle card is Higher Power. Let's take a look at the artwork there. This is what leads me to believe, with that combined with all the major arcana you have going here, I think that whatever this is just stuck energy that's meant to move forward. So in that extent, it's in that regard, rather, it's kind of out of your hands in a way, but it needs to happen. And the number for that card is 4, if that resonates for any of you. This is from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, by the way, by Colette Baron Reed. Pretty awesome deck. What I do with this is actually just read the messages from the book, because they cover multiple angles, and then we tie it all together and wrap up from there. All right, so read the message. Give me a second. Okay, it says essential meanings. Conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. The Oracle's message. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what is the highest good for all? How can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. So I could say that certainly makes sense, especially looking at the Hangman card. That's a card of spirituality, looking at things from a more spiritual perspective. So that seems to certainly support the message there. Now, for those of you where if this resonates more on a relationship level, there's a relationship message, so I'll read that next. It's time to address how much effort you give to your relationship with your higher power, called God, Goddess, Spirit, or any other name that is sacred and holy. Recognize that your partnership with Spirit is your number one priority. The appearance of this card also indicates that there is a deep spiritual bond between you and another person who is essential to your growth and evolution. Tend to your spiritual connections and remain aware of your true nature. Well, again, this is actually a Scorpio card here, by the way, the 6 of Cups and the 2 of Cups. Again, as we said, those could definitely be spiritual connections. That's not out of the question at all. The Star, that's a spiritual card. I don't think I mentioned it before, but I also view this as being naked in your truth. This is the card that follows the Tower in the major arcana, so to me this is often putting ego aside. So that could be what this is suggesting as well. And now for those of you where this resonates more as a financial reading, we do have a prosperity message. It says, sometimes your work just flows through you. Ideas come rushing in and inspiration bubbles up from a wellspring you didn't even know you could access. When you enter agreements, begin projects, and negotiate deals with Spirit as your partner, you will always succeed. Let your higher power lead. The synchronicities and intuitive nudges you feel will help you see which way you are being pointed, giving you confidence to move forward in the right direction. Don't forget to give credit where it's due. You wouldn't be a success without Spirit's guidance. Humility will serve you well when this symbol appears. All right, well, yeah, I could see how that ties into the reading as well. So hopefully you guys found those messages helpful. That's all we have for this month. So wrap up here, and I'll see you all next month.